Welcome back to TV5 News at 9. It is time now for Aging in Style with American Retirement Advisors. Joining us now is President and Owner Joe Vitale. Thank you so much for calling in today, Joe.
Good morning, Glenn. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Thank you. Okay, so today we're talking about keeping our 401k on track during this pandemic. So first, Joe, tell us what people should do with their 401k if they have lost a job or they've switched jobs.
It's very common today. It's very prevalent, especially with the pandemic and everything happening in the world today. A lot of people are finding their 401ks. They're losing their jobs or transferring jobs. Their job is no longer. So what do? You have these 401ks, these 403bs, 457s. And, should you hold on to them? Should you move them? Why? And that's what we're going to talk about is there are a lot of good reasons to make sure you do it the right way, because there are so many 401k mistakes being made out there today.
Now, are there any benefits to leaving the 401k with your old employer?
There are a couple benefits sometimes to hold on to 401ks depending on your age, your circumstances. There's a 55-year-old rule as opposed to a 59-and-a-half-year-old rule. So there's a lot of different reasons, but what we find is the vast majority of the reasons to move your 401 outweigh the reasons to keep them. So what we're finding we'll go over reasons why, but there are a lot of reasons that you do want to move the 401k. Most importantly, because it's portable, and you don't want it to be with a company you're no longer with and have to go through all the administration. So there's a lot of reasons to do it. We're going to go one by one and kind of talk about a little bit more in depth with that.
And we always want to do things the right way. So what are some common mistakes that people make when they're trying to move their 401k?
You see a lot of times people will do it the wrong way. They'll go ahead and say, oh, just send me a check. And then there's a big tax issue. Now, there's a time you can make up for it. If you do it within a certain window of time, you can overcome that. But some people, we have people who have had multiple 401ks, multiple jobs. And you can only do really one in a year if you do it a certain way. So the biggest mistake are people where they're actually taking the money in their hand, or they're having the check sent to them. They're not doing the rollover direct like they need to. So that's where professional can come in to make sure that we have done so many transfers of 401s to IRAs, and it just has to be done the right way. It can be pretty easy, but the biggest thing is with a lot of people with your 401 or your 457 or 403, you don't always have the best choices. You have the choices that the employer almost elects for you or allows you to have, or that the administrator has for you. And there are so many options for investments today. You don't always have all the best options, so you're kind of limited. And that's a huge reason right there why you want to have it, keep it on your own.
I know a lot of people have this question. Do you have to pay any penalties or taxes if you move your 401k or IRA?
Absolutely, yeah. No, you really don't. Of course, if you do it the right way. If you do it the wrong way, yes, you could have to pay penalties or taxes if you do it the wrong way. But doing it the right way, transferring your 401 over to an IRA is seamless. It's no tax issues, no tax consequences, liabilities. It works very, very nicely. You just have to make sure that you do it the right way. And there's reasons to move it into an IRA. There's reasons to keep it into a 401. But as we said, by moving it into an IRA, one of the hugest advantages, ability to have more investment options, to have professional management, to have an advisor with you who can walk with you in your state of life and make sure that they understand you. And that's what we try to offer, is make sure that our families, we know their situation, we know their time horizon, so we're helping them all the time, direct them for their retirement. And it works out very, very nice. So you need to do that the right way for sure.
Okay, so Joe, let's dig into this a little bit now. What are some of the advantages and disadvantages of moving a 401k to an IRA?
Advantage, professional money management, the ability to meet with a financial advisor who knows you and your situation and your family, as opposed to the non-personal approach. A lot of investment choices. You can have so many more investment choices by having it in your IRA with professional management or an advisor. It's portable, so it's yours. We have so many people that we worked with over the years where they still have their 403 or their 457 or their 401, and they've got to jump through all these hoops with an administrator or with the company that they used to work with, and they really don't want to broach that. So there's a lot of, it's so much easier and better for you to have ownership of that under your control and with somebody who knows what you have in mind for your future and your goals. So we see the reasons to move the IRA is overwhelmingly to hold on to it from a 401k to an IRA. The reasons not to move it to an IRA, why would you want to keep it as a 401k? There's a couple reasons. Sometimes there's liability protection depending on the scenario. Sometimes there's ability, like if you are 55 and you want to retire at 55, you can actually take your money out of a 401k without penalty. Whereas an IRA, you have to wait till 59 and a half. So unless, of course, there's other conditions, of course, if we have disability or what have you. And under the CARES Act right now with what's going on, just about anybody can touch their money for just about any reason. But traditionally, we're talking a large amount of money. We really don't want to mess with that. So overwhelmingly, the reasons, we can spend so much time on this topic, but every situation is different. So we don't want to go into everything and then say, well, that's not a benefit for me, or that's an advantage, or that's a disadvantage for me. So what I would recommend, of course, get a hold of us, give us a call, and we'll be able to help you walk through it and tell you the advantages and disadvantages for your situation to see if it makes sense. But overwhelmingly, the vast majority, you're going to find 90 to 100% of people, it does make sense to move it.
Any last words of wisdom or advice for us during this time?
Well, as they say, this is one of the things where during the pandemic they say don't touch your face, right? Don't touch your face, and we're going to say don't touch your 401k either. You really don't want to take money out of it right now. A lot of people are saying, oh my goodness, I'm going to take money out. You've worked so hard to accumulate this right now. Let's look at ways where you can still keep it. Don't take money out of it to live on. Don't use it if you can help it. If you have to, you have to. There's no way around. You have to do that. We understand. But if you have the ability to leave it as is, move it over to an IRA, control it, have it with you, and let's really help work that. We want to make sure we reach that goal for retirement. This going on right now in the world with this coronavirus, the pandemic, and all these closures and all the nonsense going on, this too will pass. We have to remember that. We've seen these kind of things before. Maybe nothing like this, but this will pass. We will get through this, and we don't want to make any mistakes that we really can't go back and change. So we want to be smart how we do this and work through all the options before we just pull triggers.
Joe, awesome advice. Once again, thank you so much for calling in. I just feel much more relaxed just talking with you about this. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
All right, take care.
Okay, you as well, Joe. If you at home want more information, head on over to the Aging and Style page. That's on WNEM.com.